You're watching the Raider D podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Gerard Mayo and the dumpster fire that is the New England Patriots. Gerard Mayo cannot seem to get an offensive coordinator, which is good for the Raiders because we're still in the hunt for an offensive coordinator. And since nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to go and work for the New England Patriots, and this man, Jerod Mayo, is a good sign for the Raiders because that means that more options are going to stay on the table for us as we are continuing to wait potentially for Kubiak to get interviewed. Coordinator job is reportedly isn't generating buzz around the NFL. There's a lot of hemming and hawing about the quality of the position. So if you're looking at this from an offensive coordinator's point of view, or somebody that is going to move up into that OC position, maybe they're a QB coach, maybe they're a passing coordinator, they have some type of affiliation as an assistant to an offensive coordinator, and they're thinking about taking that next step. You have to look at the situation in New England and say, my goodness, do I really want to go and put my career there? Do I want to stake my name there? Because they're a dumpster fire. They have no offensive line. They have no weapons. You have a prima donna quarterback in Mac Jones. Well, some reports are coming out that the issue is not Mac Jones, that it is the organization, that it is the coaching staff, it is the lack of weapons. Who knows? That's really inside the locker room. But I got to say, man, if I'm trying to move up into that OC position, I don't know that I would want to go and work there at all. Now, obviously, I would go and take a job in the NFL at any time because I'm just a guy on YouTube. But if you're a professional coach and this is your career as coaching, and you gotta be like, well, if I take this job, am I going to be out of a job in a year or two and never get the opportunity to be an OC again? Because we all know that OC job is like a stepping stone in the NFL to a head coaching job. So you got to look at the longevity of your career. And this is the reason why nobody is trying to take this job right now. So in this report from Boston.com, it says the Patriots reportedly have both a defensive coordinator and a special teams coordinator in place with DeMarcus Covington and Jeremy Springer. Jeremy Springer came from the Rams. The Rams were not very good on special teams, so I mean you can kind of see like Gerard Mayo isn't even bringing in the best of talent, but we'll see what happens with that. The waiting game continues for the Patriots when it comes to the most critical vacancy on Gerard Mayo's coaching staff, offensive coordinator. Even though the next coach given the reins of the New England offense should have a clean slate to work with, along with potential first-round quarterback, several reports have painted the picture of coaching job that isn't exactly in high demand. I mean, this is crazy. To get an offensive coordinator position in any team in the NFL is a major step up from being a QB coach, right? Or even a passing coordinator or something like some type of an assistant job. And everybody is passing on. Everybody's like, no, I'm good, right? After speaking with several NFL sources at the 2014 Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, Mike Giardi of the Boston Sports Journal wrote that New England's vacancy has largely been brushed aside. I can't stress enough how little buzz the Pats offensive coordinator search has generated league-wide. Talking to league sources, there's a lot of hemming and hawing about the quality of the position. Their best playmaker is a sixth-round Lilliputian Pop Douglas. Sure, where do I sign up, says one. Another added, what does Mayo want them to be? I don't know that anyone knows that answer yet. So, he hasn't even described his vision for what the team is going to be, what the culture is going to be, what the strategy of the offense is going to be, the scheme of what he's looking for. He hasn't put any of that out. And finally, the job looks worse on paper than it did a year ago when Billy O'Brien took over. The QB he was referring to, Mac Jones, can't play. They did what? With Juju Smith-Schuster and Devontae Parker, a sizable contract for one and extension for another. They have some key free agents. It could be rough if they don't hit a home run in the draft. Some of the names they've spoken to, including Luke Getsy, drew shrugs from sources I've talked to here in Alabama. So moving on, I've spoken to offensive coordinator candidates in this cycle, and the Patriots' job is not highly coveted. It's just not. There's so much roster turnover. There's still uncertainty whether the other jobs on the staff, they don't have a quarterback to sell anyone on. All right, so you have this issue in New England where nobody wants to go work there. Nobody wants to be an OC there. And even if you become an OC, how do you attract quality assistant coaches there? Because everybody knows most likely you're all going to be out of a job within 2 years.